I'm going to say that it's always good practice when you're recording something to say what date it is, just like you date any piece of paper or something.
Yeah.
So today is Monday, the 15th of November, 2010. And it's late afternoon, and we're going to be answering some questions. You're going to be answering some questions. There's an interview of Charles R. Schroeder, and he's going to be answering some questions, mostly about Iran, that were sent by a person that I correspond with by email, and he lives in Abadan right now. So he always has interesting questions. He asks me lots of questions all the time. You know, the first one he asked, and it's sort of a joke between us, he says, "What's the price of eggs in the United States? What's the average salary for a teacher in the United States?" You know, because he's a teacher, and so is his wife. But like everyone, I think that they're kind of marginally employed because, you know, there isn't a huge, it's not a thriving economy. So let's listen to this and just see if it came out.
Right.
Why don't you say a few things just for this test here?
All right. I'd be glad to answer any questions that your friend in Abadan might want, Paul, and I'd be glad to oblige him by doing what I can to help out him if he is working on any project. So I'm ready to go ahead.
Great. Okay. The first one on the top. Oh, he says there are, I guess there are categories here: personal, Abadan workplace, political, cultural. Okay, so there's a lot of questions. Get ready. Here we go. First one. Please introduce yourself to your Abadani friends. What was your idea about getting a job in Abadan?
It was just, I felt that it was just an opportunity for me to get out and get some more experience of a different nature, which I could not get in the United States. It's only an experience that I could get by living in a foreign country, which appealed to me at the time.
What was your family reaction as they heard you were leaving the U.S. to Iran and Abadan?
I really can't recall exactly how the others felt. There wasn't any strenuous objection to my going and with the rest of the family going with me. They all felt that it was a good opportunity to expand my field of knowledge, and there was no serious objection.
Were you and your family a little worried about leaving the U.S.?
No, we weren't worried. We were looking forward to all the new things that we were going to be exposed to.
How old were you at the time you entered Abadan?
Oh, how old was I? I think I was around 40, 45 years old. I think so.
Let's figure it out. You were born in 1911.
I was born in 1911.
And you went in 1958.
58, yeah.
So you must have been about
45, 46,
something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Okay. What were your difficulties regarding accommodation and getting accustomed to the new atmosphere?
I had a little difficult time in finding accommodations there, but we finally came to decide on a an apartment which was brand new in this new subdivision that they were opening up in Abadan. And we were very happy to move into this new apartment. And what was the other part of that question?
What were your difficulties regarding accommodation and getting accustomed to the new atmosphere?
I don't think there was any difficulty in getting accustomed to the new atmosphere, because most of the people I talked to, the upper class Iranians, all spoke English, so there wasn't any language barrier.
Now, we might have some follow-up questions, when we come back to some of these. I'm thinking of some now, but rather than get into any further elaboration, we'll just go through his questions.
All right.
Okay. So now the next section is Abadan workplace. Were you supported enough by your Iranian coordinates? I think he means by your colleagues who were Iranian. Did they give you support in your work?
Yes, my colleagues and I got along very well. I don't think there was any friction at all. We seemed to have a good, friendly relationship.
How do you describe the people you worked with?
The people I worked with were all intelligent. They knew what they were doing. They did their jobs well, and that made me very happy, because there wasn't any friction between us.
I know there are a lot of more things that we could ask about there, but now we're already to the next section, political. Did you have any certain notion about the current condition of Iran or the Shah?
Do I have a reaction to what?
Did you have a certain notion about the current, then, condition of Iran or the Shah?
No, I knew about the Shah and that he was in power there, and that's about all I knew.
What did you think about what Britain and the U.S. did to Mossadegh's government?
For what
Britain and the U.S. did to Mossadegh's government?
For the most?
Mossadegh. Mossadegh.
Oh, Mossadegh?
Yeah.
Well, of course, he was supported by the Russians, and he brought in a communist regime.
You were there after his time, though.
Yes, I was. No, I was there before his time. Mossadegh?
Right, he was there, and he was in from something like 51 to 53, and you got there in 58.
Oh, yeah?
Because that happened.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because the CIA came in and kicked him out. That's right.
So, do you have any reaction to that?
No, none at all.
Your views generally weren't political anyway.
That's right.
Do you think that getting the most out of oil advantages by the British, it was time for Iran to have their own share? I guess he's thinking, do you think Iran was getting enough share of the oil?
Well, I know that...
These are hard. This is hard for you to answer because you didn't really have anything to do with that.
I really don't know whether Iran got its just share. I have no idea.
Cultural.
Yeah.
We're going to the cultural group now. Was photography a hobby of yours before getting to Abadan?
Oh yeah, I like taking pictures. I always had a camera.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah.
It seemed, I'll just ask a little question here. It seemed like you did get a special camera when you went. You bought
I had a farewell dinner for my co-workers gave me a farewell dinner in Chicago before I left. And as a part of this, they gave me a camera as a part of a farewell gift, which I used extensively.
Okay. Had you attended any courses on photography?
No.
What made you take photos in Abadan? And I think maybe he's thinking specifically of the general photos of the town.
Yeah, if a subject pleased me, I took a picture of it. I was interested in getting pictures wherever I went.
We're still in cultural now. How do you assess the social gap between white-collar and blue-collar classes in Abadan?
It was very marked. The white-collar class, my subordinates there, they were of a better educated group than the laborer in the refinery.
What were the Abadani's attitude toward you?
I think they were very friendly, and perhaps they might have had some ill feeling toward me because I was a foreigner taking over part of their country. I don't know. But I don't know what their feelings were secretly, although outwardly we got along very well, very well. It was a good group. We had a good, friendly atmosphere.
What was your feeling when leaving Abadan?
Well, I really was sorry to leave because myself and the rest and my wife and my two children, we had a good time in Iran, and it was a good part in our lives. I think we learned a lot from our experience in living in Iran.
Did you ever wish to be back in Abadan?
No, I don't think so. Once is enough.
Could you ever guess that your photos would one day be printed in Abadan, in a newspaper there, and be loved and adored by every Abadani?
No, I never thought that. Why should I think that? All I thought of was having some photographs which would remind me in the future of what life was like in Abadan.
Next category is war. What was your reaction on the war between Iran and Iraq?
Of course, I was sorry. I am sorry about any kind of war because it's damaging to the people. People are killed and property is destroyed. Generally, I'm against all war.
What was your feeling when hearing or reading news on the Abadan bombardments? And honestly, we didn't get a lot of news about this here.
No.
Do you remember hearing anything about it?
No. No, Abadan on bombardment?
In the Iran-Iraq War, when the Iraqis...
Oh. No, I don't recall reading too much about it.
Did you ever hope SQ 1098 would survive the bombings?
Oh, I don't know.
Would you like to have been a war photographer in Abadan?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, and then he says, explanations on each photo taken in Abadan or Khuzestan. Well, we'll come back to maybe some of that. We don't even have the pictures here, so you can't explain, and you certainly can't explain on so many. Did you continue photography? We'll come back to that one. Did you continue photography in your country after traveling back to the U.S.?
Well, I took photographs generally, like family gatherings and this and that, and nothing of too serious nature.
Do you hope to visit Abadan again?
No, I have no desire of going back again. Once is enough.
If officially invited, would you accept an invitation to Abadan?
Oh, I suppose under those circumstances I might go back.
What would you like to tell to the Iranian people and to Abadanis especially?
Oh, the main thing that I would tell them is to try to settle their disagreements by other ways than going to war.
And then it says here, Dear Paul, I may send you extra questions so that every little thing that might cross anyone's mind would be forecasted. I pray to God you and your father will visit Abadan. Very truly yours. Okay. So that's it for our interview.
All right.
Do you have any other wrap-up thoughts about this that you want to add at this point?
No, I don't think so. I'll respond to any questions that he might have, that's all.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot.
All right.